Hey guys, this is Toxic Knight. I'm going to be bringing you a Napoleon Total War commentary video. This game is played between me on the right with Great Britain, and you have TNC Sushi in the middle, and on the left you have Semtex, TNC Semtex. And we're going to be versing some randoms today. It's not much of a challenge, but it is always fun. And this is my army. I have 4 cav, I have 2 goons, and then 2 heavy goons. And I have a Coldstream Guard, 4 foot, and I have 2 King's German Legion, and I also have 4 lights. Alright, this is TNC Sushi in the middle, and he's actually with Prussia, but it says Spain. Did not realize that until I started filming, but anyway, he has 5 Prussian Fusiliers, a couple Foot Guards, 8th Life Regiment, and a couple Musketeers, and a couple Cav there. And this is Semtex. He has couple rifles, couple line infantry, some horses, and some janissaries, which is actually what I like most about the Ottomans, is their melee troops, because they can really cause a lot of havoc if they get to the enemy's line. Alright, so let's take a look at what our opponents have. My opponent has he has Ottoman first of all, and he has 2 Lancer Cavs on his left flank, and he has 1 elite and 1 regular, and they're both very powerful. Cavalry for the Ottomans is very powerful. He has some infantry on his left flank, and on his right he has some Palestinian auxiliaries and some janissaries. And it looks like he has 5 rifles. And Britain has a large amount of foot and some light dragoons and 4 rifles. And what you can see here is he's rushing his rifles forward, but they're completely unsupported by any other units, which makes them very easy targets. And you can see Semtex over here, as he sees this, he's taking advantage, as well as Sushi. And he's deploying stakes, but these aren't that hard to run around. Realizing that he's about to get flanked, he decides to pull his rifles back, but actually doesn't make any move to help them with his line infantry or cavalry. And rifles are very weak in their own right when hit by any melee troop, especially cav. You can see the morale's just going to go right down. About 30 guys. Now he's just going to go down the line. These guys have just about broken there. They rout. These guys are about to rout. They routed. And before he gets too close to the enemy line infantry where they could shoot up his cav, he's gonna pull back, and he's got to be happy with those results, because without losing any units he has diminished the enemy's light infantry power significantly. And you can see Semtex over here, he's just slowly maneuvering his forces closer to the enemy. And you can tell, here's a bit of a tip, if you didn't know, that in Napoleon, the units actually, they only fire in the first rank, and if you spread them very thin, they actually are much more effective, because the units will fire with more guys. And you can see what his opponent did here, is he has his units kind of bunched up, and that's going to make him a lot less effective. Not to mention he has stakes up, which are good at stopping bullets on both sides, so his janissaries should have a pretty clear ride into those grenadiers and foot guards. Alright, let's see what's happening here. Over here his rifles are opening fire, and what I want to do is I want to push my army up quickly, because I only have 4 whites and he has 5 rifles. But rifles cannot take Lightfoot, though they have the range. The numbers ultimately are going to win it. As you can see, they opened fire and only killed about 20 guys, 8 guys there, and haven't even touched the other guys. So you'll see how much more effective it is when these guys open fire. And as you can see, it's just many more bullets going out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move them up just a little bit more so I can hopefully get my foot guards a bit closer in range. At the same time, I'm going to rush in some cav to hopefully take out one of his rifle units. And I'm making sure to do it in front of his janissaries so these guys can't fire back. Hopefully let my cav get there, do a little more damage. And you can see they're doing some pretty good damage to those guys. He's gonna charge his elite cav over here and his regular lancer, but I form up a square, so that's gonna be very ineffective. Then he's gonna rush him over and try to hit the unit next to him, which I expected, but I have my foot guards right here, and they're gonna open fire along his cav. Just rout them pretty quickly.
Our men are running, sir.
As you can see, Sushi over here, he's just moving up his army. Getting in position still. And over here what I'm going to do is, seeing that my guy's preoccupied, I'm going to charge in some cav, see if I can get him not to square up before I hit him. And yeah, I get in. And that's going to be very effective. You can see the lost about 80 guys in under 5 seconds. And right here you have the whites, and the rifles are exchanging fire, and he has 5 whites. This guy only has 2 rifles now, so it shouldn't be too difficult over there. And now if you come over here, we're going to take a look at TNC Semtex, what he's doing. He's moving up his infantry to open fire and absorb some of these bullets. And right behind them, he's going to have his janissaries rushing in. You know, these melee troops over here. These pretty cool ass looking swords. And what these stakes are going to do is they're going to, when these guys open fire on his janissaries, they're going to take away a lot of the effect that the bullets would otherwise have. Just stopping a lot of them, as you'll see in a second. Here they're going to fire at will. And they've only killed 5 guys in this unit. That whole volley, so it's not going to be very effective. And what else he's going to do is he's going to rush all his cav around these stakes. Because while troops are in melee, they can't square up. So he's going to come in and hit all these troops while they're fighting these janissaries. Let's see. Very effective tactic. Hard to stop. Gonna cut right through these rifles over here. From there, he's just gonna plow right into these line infantry, which are unable to square. And that's going to really affect the morale, because not only are they being fired upon, but they are being hit by cav in the back. Alright, over here what happened was my opponent actually decided that he didn't want to play the rest of the match, I guess. He realized he was going to lose, so he quit the game, which honestly at this point wouldn't make much of a difference anyway. And so I just have to wrap up the last of my guys, and I will come in and flank Sushi's opponent. And it's just a bit of a shootout between my Highland foot and these infantry. And the Ottomans aren't known exactly for their infantry, but more for their melee troops and their cav. As you can see, it's just a whole mess over here.
Our men are running, sir.
Morale is dropping very quickly for these units. And you have his hussars, they just routed. His foot guards, getting close to routing over here. And by this point, there is not much this guy can do. He still has to face a whole army of infantry, and he does not have any units left or any cav. And his whites are being chased off, so shouldn't be much of a threat. At this point, TNC Sushi is rushing his cav in, hopefully to disrupt the foot infantry's firing. Maybe give his unit some more time to set up. And British regular line infantry is better than every other regular line infantry, but they still have the same morale as other line infantry, which means they will still rout if not inspired or if they're losing badly. In this case, they are being hit by every side. I'm flanking his this guy's left and his Black Watch over here. Only thing standing in between me and the back of his army. These are elites, Black Watch, but they're not as good as regular foot guard. I just like them because I think they look pretty cool though. And they're going to take a lot of fire from all my lights, which are here.
Glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
And as you can see, these units look very depleted over here. This one is about to rout, and there it goes. There you go. This is something cool here. I ran out of ammo, so I decided to try to disrupt some of his firing. But his general says, no, you can't do that. And basically hunts my soldiers across the map.
Our men are running, sir.
And soon there's going to be a mass rout. There's one, and it looks like this guy's going to come in second. Yeah, no, they're tied for second. And there's the last guy. And his general's just going to make a suicide charge. But bullets are apparently very effective against people charging directly at you, so he dies. Well, that's the battle, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to be making more commentaries, so please rate and subscribe. Alright, see you later, guys.